What are my strengths, and how can I leverage them? In the ever-evolving journey of life, one of the most important questions we must ask ourselves is, what are my strengths, and how can I leverage them? It's easy to get caught up in the daily grind, distracted by the challenges that life presents, and sometimes we fail to recognize the unique abilities and talents we have been gifted. However, it is crucial to take a step back, reflect, and realize that our strengths are not just personal assets. They are tools that can be used for the betterment of others and for fulfilling the purpose God has placed within us. The Bible teaches us that each person is uniquely made, crafted with purpose, and endowed with specific gifts. In Romans 12:6, the Apostle Paul says, "We have different gifts, according to the grace given to each of us." This truth acknowledges the diversity of human talents, encouraging us to embrace our abilities and use them for the greater good. Far from being self-centered, leveraging our strengths is part of a divine calling to love and serve those around us, using the talents we've been given to enrich the lives of others. There is something powerful in recognizing our strengths, and when we do, we align ourselves with God's will. Consider the story of David, a young shepherd boy who was able to leverage his strength, his faith, and his skill with a sling to defeat the giant Goliath. 1 Samuel 17. David didn't hesitate to step into the role that God had prepared him for, and his victory was not just a triumph of physical strength, but a triumph of trust in God's purpose for his life. Like David, we must embrace the idea that our strengths, when aligned with God's plan, can lead to victories beyond our imagination. From a psychological perspective, understanding and utilizing our strengths is crucial for personal fulfillment and well-being. According to the field of positive psychology, the concept of strengths-based development focuses on the importance of identifying and nurturing our core strengths. Research suggests that when individuals leverage their strengths, they experience higher levels of engagement, happiness, and overall life satisfaction. This is not merely theoretical. It is supported by years of scientific evidence that shows how engaging with our natural abilities leads to a greater sense of accomplishment and purpose. One of the key benefits of identifying our strengths is that it provides clarity and direction. In our fast-paced, constantly changing world, it can be easy to feel lost or uncertain about our path. By reflecting on what we do well, whether it's problem-solving, teaching, listening, or creating, we begin to form a clearer picture of how we can contribute meaningfully to the world. Proverbs 3:5-6 offers wisdom in this regard. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. Trusting in God's direction and utilizing our strengths in alignment with His will helps us navigate the complexities of life with confidence and purpose. Leveraging our strengths also requires us to recognize the importance of growth. Strengths are not static. They can be developed and refined over time. The Bible encourages us to grow in wisdom and understanding. James 1:5 reminds us, "If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all liberally and without reproach, and it will be given to him." In the same way that physical muscles grow through consistent effort and training, our inner strengths, our character, talents, and skills can also be nurtured with intention and commitment. This requires us to step out of our comfort zones, embrace challenges, and push ourselves beyond the limits we thought we had. It's through this growth that we not only become better versions of ourselves, but also equip ourselves to serve others more effectively. Moreover, recognizing and cultivating our strengths is not about becoming self-centered or prideful. In fact, the Bible warns against such attitudes. In 1 Corinthians 10:31, we are reminded, "So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, Do it all for the glory of God. Our strengths are not meant to elevate us above others, but to bring glory to God and contribute to the well-being of those around us. This shift in perspective helps us approach our strengths with humility and gratitude, knowing that they are gifts meant to be shared, not hoarded. As we reflect on our strengths, it is important to think about how we can leverage them to benefit others. Strengths should never be used for selfish gain, but rather to uplift and support those around us. One of the most profound ways we can leverage our strengths is by serving others. Whether in our families, communities, or workplaces, we can find opportunities to use our unique abilities to make a difference. The Bible calls us to serve one another in love, as seen in Galatians 5:13. You, my brothers and sisters, were called to be free, but do not use your freedom to indulge the flesh. Rather, serve one another humbly in love. It's also important to recognize that not all strengths are immediately obvious or celebrated by society. Some people may possess quiet strengths, such as the ability to listen, offer encouragement, or provide comfort, that are no less valuable than more visible talents. In the parable of the talents, Matthew 25:14-30, Jesus teaches that the value of a person's contributions is not measured by the size of their gifts, but by how faithfully they use them. The servant who multiplied his small investment was praised just as much as the one who received a greater sum. In the same way, we should not underestimate the power of our seemingly small strengths. Whether large or small, every strength, when used for the right purpose, is invaluable. From a scientific standpoint, using our strengths in meaningful ways also enhances our mental health. Studies show that people who focus on their strengths experience greater levels of positive emotions and a stronger sense of purpose. The act of using one's strengths is closely tied to intrinsic motivation, which is the desire to do something for its inherent satisfaction rather than for external rewards. This sense of fulfillment is crucial for long-term well-being, as it leads to a deeper sense of happiness and life satisfaction. Just as Proverbs 16:3 encourages, "Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans." Using our strengths in accordance with God's will brings peace and fulfillment. When we acknowledge our strengths and make a conscious effort to leverage them, we don't just enhance our own lives, we enrich the lives of others as well. It's important to ask ourselves, how can my strengths serve those around me? Whether it's through acts of kindness, leadership, creativity, or service, we have the power to impact the world in profound ways. As we begin to use our strengths more intentionally, we may find that they open doors to new opportunities, deeper relationships, and more meaningful connections. Additionally, it is essential to acknowledge that no strength exists in isolation. Every strength is interconnected with others. For example, the ability to lead often requires the strength of empathy, and the gift of teaching is often complemented by patience. We must, therefore, be mindful of how we balance our strengths and work in harmony with the strengths of others. As 1 Corinthians 12:14-18 teaches us, even so the body is not made up of one part, but of many. Just as every part of the body has its function, each of us has unique strengths that contribute to the collective good. By leveraging our strengths in unity with others, we can accomplish far more than we could on our own. In conclusion, understanding our strengths and learning how to leverage them is not only vital for personal growth and fulfillment, but also essential for serving others and fulfilling God's purpose in our lives. By embracing our strengths with humility, using them to serve others, and growing in our abilities, we can live a life that honors God and blesses those around us. Just as Jesus used his strength to serve humanity, we are called to use our unique abilities to bring hope, healing, and love to the world. Through this, we find the deepest sense of purpose and joy, knowing that we are living in alignment with our true calling.